Hey, welcome in. Well, I'm sure you're all aware by now of the criticism that's been focused on Patrisse Cullors, who is the trained Marxist BLM founder. And she was criticized for buying a $1.4 million home in Topanga Canyon, which just happens to be a place where the vast majority of residents are white. And there she is in front of a sign talking about a revolution with her fist up. And I guess this was maybe right before she bought the house in the nice 98% white neighborhood, right? Well, BLM has responded to this criticism. Can you guess what they blamed it on? Can you take a wild guess what they blamed the criticism of their trained Marxist co-founder on? If you guessed white supremacy, you were right, because it's always that, isn't it? Here's the headline: BLM responds to criticism of co-founder. This right-wing offensive, which continues a tradition of terror by white supremacists. And that's what pointing out hypocrisy is. It's a tradition of terror. It's a tradition of terror. Okay. Yes, everything is white supremacy. The light stays on red for too long. That's white supremacy. That's a tradition of terror. We all know about milk, right? Milk is a tradition of terror. Everybody knows that. As well as being nice. Apparently being nice, that's also a tradition of terror by white supremacists. Everything is. That's always the answer. They know the answer before they've heard the question every single time, and you know what it is. So anyway, they have responded. What do they say? In recent days, Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Cullors has been facing a severe backlash after news broke of a real estate buying binge that saw the high-profile racial justice activist snagging 4 high-end homes for $3.2 million in the U.S. alone. Justice questions mount about how National Black Lives Matter spent the tens of millions it collected in 2020. So there's a buying binge, and there's also, this is a group that's constantly talking about whiteness, and right? A tradition of terror, and they don't like whiteness very much. Apparently they're very afraid of white people. Except for Cullors, who wants to live amongst white people because what? Either you're afraid of white people and you're afraid of whiteness, or you're not, right? Apparently she is not. She's specifically bought a house in a 98% white neighborhood. She can't really think that white people are that bad. Maybe this is all bullshit. I don't know. It's possible, right? Anyway, they had a response here. Patrisse Cullors is the executive director of Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. She serves in this role in a volunteer capacity and does not receive a salary or benefits. Okay, so let's see. It says the following statement is issued by Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation in response to a false and defamatory article being amplified by right-wing media. Says Patrisse Cullors is the executive director. Okay, we got that. It says she serves in a volunteer capacity, does not receive a salary or benefits. Patrisse has received a total of $120,000 since the organization's inception in 2013. Well, that sounds like it's not nothing. $120,000 is something, right? Anyway, for duties such as serving as a spokesperson and engaging in political education work, Patrisse did not receive any compensation after 2019. Then it goes on to say that the organization did not commit any organizational resources towards the purchase of personal property by any employee or volunteer. Then it goes on to talk about how great she is, and then we see this tactic of terror time and again. Tactic of terror, pointing out the hypocrisy of pretending that you're oppressed when actually you're apparently quite wealthy, and the people that apparently terrify you, you actually want to live with them. In fact, in a place that's 98% them, you would think from all the rhetoric from BLM, she would be terrified. Apparently she's not. I'm really interested in what are the demographics of the neighborhoods that the other leaders of BLM live in. Are they also surrounding themselves on purpose with all this terror and white supremacy? I wonder how much of their rhetoric they actually believe. I'm going to take a wild guess. Maybe not that much. Anyway, they're saying she's received a total of $120,000 since 2013, but nothing after 2019. So nothing last year. But she has gotten something from them, at least on the books. And I have to wonder, there's a part of my brain that just wonders if there's not more to this story that's going to come out. I don't know. I'm not making any allegations. I just wonder. But anyway, when they, explicitly reiterated their rejection of the claim that Cullors received any organizational resources, well, they did say that she got $120,000 as well, so which is it? And then we hear all the same rhetoric. Then the organization condemned the allegations leveled against Cullors as indicative of racist violence. Yes, racist violence. Because what else could it be, right? And as another example of a right-wing offensive, which continues a tradition of terror by white supremacists. Yes, blah, blah, blah. It's what we just expect at this point. Again, if this were all really true, this woman would be terrified of living in that area. Terrified. Which makes me wonder if she's not just full of it, right? Anyway, this really sums it up at the end of the article here. This statement makes no mention of the arguable hypocrisy demonstrated by Cullors, which is the actual subject of much of the criticism she is now facing, which involves her continued claim of victimization despite her apparently considerable personal wealth, and also the fact that it doesn't seem like she's actually scared of white people. And she's worried. It doesn't seem like she's worried about a campaign of terror against her. It sounds like since 2013, she's done pretty well out of all of this, regardless of whether or not she's only gotten $120,000 since 2013. And I guess, maybe somebody will investigate that, see if that's true. I don't know. Probably not. Mainstream media certainly won't. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast, Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time.